Go back to Isaiah 60, 62, 60. I was going to do this here, but I didn't do it a minute ago. But I want to go back to it while I get on my mind. It was God talking in these later days to the daughters of Zion. Because the reason he was talking to the daughters of Zion, the United States of America had killed up the millions. And I wonder how was God telling us that the women's is gonna tell the men that, it's gonna be 7 or 8 women to a man when they're gonna do it. I said, how in the world they're gonna drop these bombs over here and kill all these people and miss the women? But God in lamination, God tells you concerning lamination that they use a sophisticated sophisticated equipment, and these was the drones they had flying over. He told his people to don't go out on Sundays. We have to understand the significance. Why would God tell them don't go out on Sundays? Well, they had a day of worshiping, and even Job, in the prophets of Job, he said they was coming. They got them when they was coming to worship their God. Job 1 and Job 2. You look at the war with Iraq, where they taken and dumped all the bodies on the streets, and you look at the war over there. These people, they're killing so many men and not killing women. So what God was telling us in by prophets, just like he said in Ezekiel chapter 1, Ezekiel chapter 10, and in Revelation chapter 4, he spoke concerning the space shuttle. But in this case, God speaking concerning the drone. And lamination, read lamination. And read this part when he said, don't go out on Sunday. On Sunday is when they go down and worship their God, and the CIA was standing there killing them people while they're worshiping their God with drones. With drones, right? Use nuclear weapons. They didn't want to mess the land up because they need the crude oil. This is what God is showing us. Now, let me read. Let me go to 60. I just want to show you something. What God spoke to me. He made me a watchman. He said in chapter 62, Isaiah, he said, verse 6, I have set watchmen upon thy walls. 62 verse 6. O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. You that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence, and give him no rest, till he establish, and till he maketh Jerusalem a praise in the earth. The Lord has sworn by his right hand, and by the arm of his strength. Surely I will no more give thy corn to be meat for thy enemies. In other words, he's not going to give the crude oil no more. I'm just making it plain, interpreting this, making it plain where you could understand this. And the sons of the strangers shall not drink their wine, for thee which thou hast labored, but that they that have gathered it shall and eat it, and praise the Lord. And they that have brought it together shall drink it in the course of my holiness. Verse 10, he's speaking to the prophet, which is myself. This is the later days. This is how you tell the difference from me and John the Baptist, because I will emerge in the time where these vehicles will run neither life support, but depends on the crude oil from the earth. Daniel emerged at the time that they didn't need. John the Baptist emerged at the time that the weapon was used without crude oil. It says, go through the gates, prepare ye the way of the peoples, cast up the highway. Highway, you need a highway for vehicles that burn off a field. Gather out the stones. Stones is the false doctrine, the false sayings of the Quran and the Book of the Mormon and other doctrine that doesn't lead to the truth. Lift up a standard for the peoples. Behold, the Lord hath proclaimed unto the end of the world. Say ye to the daughters of Zion, that's out there and kill all these men with the drum. Behold, thy salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with him, and his works before him. Now, I did this to bring another part here. This was my part that God commanded me to lift up a standard to show the peoples of Zion that the God is work. All of these things that they see happening over there in their country is the works of the living God. He's bringing the wicked man to judgment. He's calling the righteous man to be redeemed. He's gathering out the wheat from the tare. This is God's way of doing it. But if I have to sit up as we speak, and the wheels of God is turning right now, bringing this world to a close. Now, let's look at the World Trade Center building I got here. It was created by the Gentiles, and all of these weaponry they use. But just like they sit and they create laws to manipulate us and our people, bring these things in our neighborhood to entice us to do evil towards against ourselves, and then they take us to judgment. But they the one brought it into our neighborhood. Drinks, strong drink, alcohol, drugs, and everything, all in our neighborhood. But at the end of the day, they bring these things in and they create judgment. Even when Maxine Waters and Chada Moreno did this here, and that man they get $96,000. All of these things was created by the Gentiles, which the Antichrist, who is the law in the governmental body of this law. This is the way it is. And God told me not to hold my peace and continue to cry out. And this is what I have to do. Now, let's go to the prophecy of, before we get here. I'm just going through this here a little bit because I got to bring these things, because I got to write a book. I got to write a book. There's no way I can do all of this here without writing a book, because he spoke from the beginning to the ending concerning this. Now, okay. It's kind of hard to govern this time with this here, but I still hold this here and show you how this here is going here.